And hey folks, welcome back. We've made it to Fort Icon here. As you see, we're going to do these two quests here that you see on the top right here, but we got this quest down here. We're going to go turn this in real quick and get to the next part. Go all the way back down to Sorrow's Bastion. Turn this in for the Order of the Death Vigil and get the next part. Where I believe the next part they have us journeying into the East Marsh. Okay, we can't perform the ritual, and we don't have enough reputation to do anything else. We have to be literally 35 more rep, I think, to get us that. Let's see, we have this Arbiter. Yep, already learned. Alright, so this will tell you how to kill, or how to get reputation, killing ethereals, Kaiman's chosen quests, and bounties. Ethereals. See, this is Act 3. So we should be able to go to the Blood Grove and just kill a handful of them. Those are ethereals, right? These guys ethereals. We'll kill a handful of these. You get 1 point per. Now how many do we need? 19. You get 1 point per regular mob and I think 35 for heroes. But it won't take us long to kill to get 35, that's for sure. There's respected. Let's head back to Sorrow's Bastion and see if I was right, or maybe you have to be honored to get that. We'll find out. Kind of excited about doing Act 4. That's where our monster infrequent force wave axe drops. Gives us +4 skills and some other stuff. So let's see if this guy's got an exclamation point. Yep, here we go. Assist in the ritual. Okay. So they're going to have us do a ritual to resurrect Malkadar. Here's a lore note, Order Doctrine. We'll read that. And here we'll read the Order Doctrine note.
The Order of Death's Vigil was founded upon the principles of Uroboruk, our immortal Grand Master. Uroboruk taught us to never be fulfilled by life's countless mysteries, to reach ever deeper into the fount of knowledge. As members of the Order, it is our sacred duty to preserve and maintain knowledge, regardless of its origins or unsettling nature, as it is not for man to discern its value. Knowledge is a wealth easily squandered by those who fear it, as evidenced by the near eradication of our Order's founding doctrine, the art of necromancy. Mastery of the ultimate fate which awaits all men represents an unparalleled frontier of learning. So it falls upon our neophytes to conquer their fear of death, to accept its harsh lessons. For not even in death does duty end.
Alright, and you click this guy to start the ritual. You basically just kill a bunch of mobs. And then Malkadar comes back to life. Hide our loot. There's a boss there. Norvia Stormfire. Oh, she froze me. And she's dead. What do we got here? So she just dropped a regular monster infrequent not a specific one, so we're just gonna gather this stuff up and then sell it. And here's Malkadar, champion of Death's Vigil. Alright, so the keeper of the Order of the Death Vigil gives this person their orders, I guess. Rituals complete, spirits are banished. We get some reputation and a blue item. Do you require anything else? Alright, so they just really want us to kill stuff now and keep going until we get to Honored. When we get to Honored, we'll get another quest to go do something else, but I don't know if we'll get that in this entire playthrough or not. Right now we're going to go back to Fort Icon, and now we're going to start the actual Act 4 quest. We're going to go slay Commander Lucius and recover some supplies. Here's the repair site that we blow up once we get the actual, once we get the explosives. Now we're in what's called the Fort Icon Armory. This also is a decent area to farm if you need dynamite. There's a lore note back there. What's this say? Compilation of Fort Icon reports. Alright, we're going to read the compilation of Fort Icon reports.
Icon reports. After the explosion that destroyed the armory, I went back over this past week's reports and compiled this collection of excerpts which I found to be relevant. They are pulled together and arranged in order the events took place. I do this in hopes that it will illuminate how this has happened and raise the questions of what might be done to avoid future attacks like this. That is assuming we survive. Captain Frederick Bucknell. Report 1. Report from the North Wall Night Watch. While patrolling the upper wall, I witnessed a soldier enter the armory. I would not make note of it, except that he appeared to have been looking around the courtyard to make sure none could see him as he entered the gated door. The torches were out in that area of the courtyard, so it's impossible for me to say who it was. Report 2. Report from the officer of the watch. Several men have gone missing and we suspect that they have deserted. A complete search of the fort and surrounding areas has ended with no sign of them, however. The scouts have found no sign of tracks and have concluded the men never left the fort. Report 3. Report from the Master of Arms. I have discovered 10 small casks and 5 large casks of black powder missing. It is difficult to account for the missing supplies, since only 5 people in the entire fort have access to the keys that would open the black powder storage. Commander Lucius headed the search himself after receiving the worrying report, starting from the bottom levels all the way to the top of the towers. Nothing was found.
Well, would you look at that there? He investigated himself and didn't find anything. What a shocker. Already gotten a couple dynamites in here. Doesn't surprise me since he stole all the dynamite. Well, black powder kegs, the same thing. That's what you make dynamite from. Alright, we'll click this chest here, see what's in it. Alright, so that's the Legion supplies. This is the side quest. Here's a little secret door. Blow stuff up. Look, there's a whole stockpile of stuff here in the middle. It's probably where Lucius was storing all the stuff he was stealing. If I had to guess, this would also be where all these men supposedly were missing. These are all aether corrupted, so these are the guys where they drained all their blood. No, wait. That's the other faction. It's the aether corruptions. Ethereals is the ones that got the green glow and they possess people and stuff. Oh, there's an Underlord note. Sometimes I get the ethereals and chthonics mixed up. Nothing else here. This isn't a very big area. Armory Explosion Investigation. Right, we'll try to read this. We have to go in here and kill these mobs so they don't come out and aggro us while we're reading. Through this door is Lucius, so we'll go back here and read this note. Armory Explosion Investigation.
Armory explosion. This is my final report on the massive explosion that has destroyed the North Courtyard. It is intended to be read with the compiled notes pulled together from the past week. With the intent of establishing a damage report and the death toll, I assembled a squad of soldiers and led them into the shattered depths below Fort Icon. The explosion appears to have blown down into the sewers, making the smell in the armory ungodly. That, in and of itself, has made it almost impossible to go down there. The plumes of smoke reduced our vision and choked the air. Crumbling walls, supports and floors were in constant danger of additional collapse. The explosion appears to have been centered on a single large support below the armory. At the bottom of the devastation we found several dead men, charred almost beyond recognition. They appear to be the men who went missing earlier this week. My investigation indicates that the missing men were using the stolen black powder to make an opening into the sewers to make their escape. In closing of this report, I'd like to raise two concerns. The first is, one of the men was an explosives expert and should have been aware of the destructive potential of so much powder. By itself, I wouldn't give this detail a second thought, if not for my second concern. Another of the men has been with the Black Legion for nearly 8 years with no signs of dissent or disagreement with command. In fact, he was due for promotion to a commanding position soon. Something doesn't fit here. The tale that is painted indicates sabotage from within, but who would go to such lengths to frame these men? Without more information, I cannot say with certainty what is going on, but my gut tells me that there is more at play here than at first appears. Captain Frederick Bucknell.
Yeah, they got corrupted and blew it up. Be my guess. What's your guess? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think happened there.
Another pathetic human.
Another pathetic human, huh? Oh, and I'm out of aether potions with 36 resist. Jeez. Genius.
Insignificant wretch. Hollow victory.
Well, that would have been a lot better if I had my potions with me. Alright, so we got a note called Untitled Letter. So let's read that.
I have successfully infiltrated the fort, as you commanded. It is ironic that the commander of this garrison is one of the weakest minds I have ever encountered. There is so much turmoil and fear that resides within him. He was easy to manipulate and overwhelm. While I do have full control of his body, there is something in the region that tampers with direct communication, something tainted and ancient. Anything capable of such an act demands further investigation. I write this correspondence in the meantime, so that another may look into this matter. Fort Icon has proven to be a challenge for us, and now I understand why. The vast stores of weapons and war machines the humans have amassed is staggering. It is a wonder that they have not exterminated themselves in their endless pursuit of warfare and self-destruction. Nevertheless, everything moves according to our grand plans. I have already taken steps to sabotage their armory and planted evidence leading to several deserters. Nobody suspects my involvement, but the main reason I have deemed it necessary to report to you comes from a most unexpected discovery. The anomaly, the revealer of secrets, walks among these humans and even now shares with them our plans. We have since adjusted our projections in this region, ensuring that anything the anomaly reveals is of no use to the humans, but its knowledge of our ways could still prove detrimental to our success on this world. For now, I have begun sowing the seeds of distrust about the anomaly to the humans. Their fear is so great that they had it moved to the prison, where it remains. Once my sabotage is complete and the gates are open, Fort Icon will fall. Then we can deal with the traitor, as is fitting of such unprecedented betrayal.
Okay, well, we got our answer. He sabotaged this stuff, and that's why the guy with all that munition experience blew it up, because it was sabotaged. Lucius did it. Okay, so that opened up the way to get out to the next area, which is called Plains of Strife. We're going to go through this zone until we find the next rip gate. Then we'll port back and turn them in and see what's next. Plains of Strife is a pretty big zone. Most folks just go north and east a little and kind of follow the road. You can be through it in just a couple minutes. But I think there's some lore around here. Like these guys, the Black Legion battle mages are out here. So I was going to look around and see if there's any other lore nodes out here. Which is the whole point of this playthrough. I wish the side quests were voiced over. That would be great. Even if it was just a TTS model, but then they would get labeled as, oh, you're using AI swamp. Nothing this way except some aether fire. It's interesting the ground stayed green and corrupted after the obelisk came through. Next time I get back to the blacksmith, I definitely need to make my potions for ethereal resistance, or aether resistance, if you will. those mines used to really hurt you, but they've been nerfed so much it almost doesn't even matter now. You used to have to really watch where you were walking. If I remember correctly too, these obelisks used to be a lot harder to kill. I think they got nerfed in one of the, what I call casual patches. Or maybe everybody's just a lot stronger now. I don't remember a time in Ashes of Malmouth where 2 or 3 force waves took out a whole obelisk. And there's the exit. I wonder why I didn't find the red portal. There's a red portal in here that's part of another quest that sends you into what's called a void zone. I must have missed it coming through here. Unless it's down here. It has several random spawn points. Maybe it's over here. Anyways, oh, now I want to find it and show you. We're not going in there right now, but we will maybe later. Because later we can get a quest to restore the Shrine of Mcdrogden, and that's where it's at. Where the hell is it at? Must be right there then. The one spot on the map that I didn't explore. And if you happen to find any gear with plus light radius, that'll expand your fog of war. Alright, well, I guess we're not finding it. Maybe it's not here anymore. Or maybe it doesn't spawn on normal. I mean... I thought it spawned on all difficulties. But if it's here, I missed it. Oh well. And here's the gate to the Necropolis. There's the rift gate up there. back to Fort Icon. We'll turn these in.
Good work down there. We cannot sip.
All right, so looks like the next part is secure the inner Necropolis rift gate. All right, so inner Necropolis is up here, so you got to fight through all of this to get to here. So we got a little bit to go yet.
Thank you for watching and subscribe for more.